PandaBuy is the worst thing to ever happen to the world. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but if you're into sneakers and fashion and you scroll through social media, there's like a 100% chance you've stumbled upon a video of some dude talking about this miracle new site called PandaBuy. Or you've probably seen hundreds of PandaBuy hauls, guys just chilling, showing off thousands of counterfeit products. In all these videos, we only hear positive reviews pushing us to check out the site. Dudes explaining how they're living their best lives since discovering PandaBuy, and apparently this site is the ultimate plug for buying fake stuff that just looks like the real deal at a fraction of the price. At least, that's what they say. But what's the real deal? Well, I've got a different story to tell, and if you're into buying fakes, this site isn't as great for you as you might think. And you should be careful. If you're not into fakes, this site is also super risky for you, and you should be thrice as cautious. And if you're a young, impressionable kid spending too much time on TikTok, this site is even more dangerous for you. So, what are the huge problems with PandaBuy? Where did this site come from, and how did it climb to the top of the counterfeit world? But most importantly, why is it extremely dangerous for everyone? We absolutely need to talk about this now.
Untold.
New video. It's been a while since we talked about fakes. I think you guys were starting to miss it, so we're back on that topic. And we absolutely need to talk about the new site that's been shaking up the counterfeit sphere for a while, PandaBuy. If PandaBuy is so popular today, we gotta wonder what was there before them to grasp why this site is so amazing. And for that, we need to give a very slight historical context on the fake market. Alright, you know fakes have been around forever. We're not going on a 600-year flashback this time, but let's go back a few years to an event that made everything go haywire when in 2014, some dude on Reddit was like, "Guys, who's up for grouping up and advising each other to do illegal stuff together?" No joke, that's the principle of the Fashion Reps subreddit that's been around for nearly 10 years and has apparently never been deleted despite the explicitly illegal content you can find there. Why? I don't know, but apparently it's allowed. And it was one of the only social networks that allowed people to gather and openly discuss counterfeiting by sharing links, sites, reviewing products. In short, it was the only place with a community promoting counterfeiting without risking getting banned overnight. Initially, they were sending AliExpress links, and gradually it evolved with a ton of new fake-related subreddits with millions of members, but especially new plugs to buy increasingly well-imitated fakes, but most importantly, cheaper and cheaper. Soon, we moved away from classic Western sites everyone knows to sites originally reserved for Chinese internet users like Taobao, Weidian, Youpu, and there were also counterfeit manufacturers who took direct interest in this growing Reddit community by offering them exclusively developed products, promo codes, and especially a trust relationship, which deteriorated super quickly with sellers making shitty moves or outright swindling some community members, leading to a blacklist of sellers. To avoid all the hassles, whether it's sellers screwing you over, sites preventing delivery outside of China, or just the language barrier,
What the hell are you talking about?
the fake boys realized the importance of using shipping agents. Shipping agents are sites that act as intermediaries between the buyer and the seller, and these kinds of sites, well, they're not all there specifically for fakes. It just allows you to access products sold exclusively in other countries. Like, imagine there's a pair sold exclusively on the French Nike site you can't access. You could use a French shipping agent to buy it, have it delivered to their warehouse in France, and then have it shipped to you in America. That's the kind of site I used when I bought my Nike Kampu in Korea, but it's especially the kind of site I used in my video on buying the cheapest fakes. These sites don't sell products. They just make it easier for you to access the billions of products available on Taobao or Weidian, obviously taking their commission on all your purchases along the way.
Well, obviously.
Among these shipping agents, just in the fake community, you have a dozen. WeGoBuy, CSSBuy, SuperBuy, BaseTao, HagoBuy, etc. Some are messier than others. There are even some suspected of secretly selling user data. But the idea is more or less the same. What changes are mostly the service, prices, and the look of the site. But among these agents who literally all do the same thing, a new player managed to stand out and has been making a lot of noise for a year or two. PandaBuy. PandaBuy, concretely, is really nothing new in the world of fakes. It's also an agent that allows you to access Chinese sites, but that's it. There's nothing sold there. It's not the ultimate counterfeit site. It's really just a shipping agent like the others. The only difference is that they have a better website with a better user experience, especially if you buy fake. But above all, the most profitable affiliate system, with guys making hundreds of thousands of euros in affiliate money by pushing you to buy fakes. But it's especially the official shipping agents of content creators around found counterfeiting. For example, guys like Cdaz, one of the most famous influencers who specialize in videos on fakes and who are quite responsible for the boost of counterfeiting, and PandaBuy. By the way, at any moment they're going to get picked up first thing in the morning by the FBI. They've had I don't know how many TikTok pages and YouTube channels deleted, but they come back every time because, as you've guessed, they make a lot of money by encouraging people to buy any crap on PandaBuy, and they're not the only ones. There are hundreds of accounts in this style doing everything possible to encourage you to create a PandaBuy account and spend your first bucks so they can make money off your back.
Somewhere between 700 billion and $1.3 billion.
For this, they don't hesitate to make up fake discounts if you click on their links and other tricks. But the biggest trick is often making you believe that these copies are better than they really are, but especially that you can buy them really cheap. When you see a dunk for 200 yuan, about 30 bucks, they don't tell you that with the agent fees, shipping, and potential customs fees, your fake pair of dunks that are still cheaper than a real pair, you end up paying sometimes more than 60 or even 80 bucks depending on where you live. So, is it all worth the hassle? Not really. For it to be worth it, the ideal is to do a haul, as they say in the streets, which means buying a lot of products. And it's lucky these influencers have Excel sheets with thousands of products just for you. The fact of buying tons of products will allow you to have more advantageous shipping costs, because when you send a single pair or a 2-kilogram package, you can end up paying 20 to 40 bucks for shipping. But if you order for a dozen or 20 kilos of sneakers and clothes, you end up with shipping of around 10 bucks per item bought, or even less. And then you understand that if you want to buy dunks for 40 bucks, well, you have to not just pay 40 bucks, but you have to spend $200 to $400 in a complete haul, and that's where it becomes vicious. If you just wanted to buy a dunk at the beginning and you end up buying 4 Supreme hoodies and 2 North Face jackets, did you really save money?
Are you sure about that?
With this system, we end up with excessive and unreasonable compulsive buying. People start buying anything and everything to complete their haul, as they say, under the pretext that it's cheaper at PandaBuy, without realizing that if it's cheaper, it's also often quite crappy.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Even if you know now, there are very well imitated counterfeits. They are generally quite rare and rather expensive because, yes, fakes can also be sold out, but most people are not educated enough about the quality of their products, and I see that every day in the comments of the fake fan club or the reviews of PandaBuy users, who are mostly 14-year-olds who just want to buy the cheapest clothes possible by convincing themselves it's the same as the real deal, and the $30 budget batch is the same as the one more expensive. Guys praising fake North Faces that are even less quality than an equivalent at Zara, and more expensive, by the way, or Jordan 4s that are 1-to-1 reps according to them because the plastic tongue at the back is rigid enough. They're not capable of understanding that there's a complexity beyond the appearance of the product, and they refuse to accept that even if they kinda look the same, the fakes they buy are often not such good deals in the long run. And we demonstrated that in our dunk crash test video. Before wearing the shoes, everything seemed identical, but after just 1 month, we already saw the differences between the rep and the legit pairs. You can also see this in one of Rose Anvil's videos, where he cut a fake Travis in half and the air bubble was much thinner compared to a retail pair. I know you really want to believe that these are perfect copies, but the 1-to-1 rep is often just a myth. And guys, my project is to launch my own sneaker brand. That's why I started YouTube. I live, sleep, and eat sneakers. I'm brainwashed, whether it's retail or fake sneakers, and I even have direct contact with the factories that make reps. I know where to source every part of a shoe to produce a rep, and I am adamant 90% of what we see in the PandaBuy community is mostly crap.
Know your place, trash.
What people never tell you too in the rep community is that among the hundreds of products they buy, there are always missed items. Products that are ultimately of too poor quality, too small, too big with a bad cut, and that they end up never wearing because there's no customer service. Once your item has been delivered, you're never going to spend 60 bucks on shipping to return a $20 sweater bought on Taobao. But that doesn't stop them from ruining themselves by buying tons of clothes. Well, ruin themselves, yes and no. Since some members of the PandaBuy sect have found a not very honest way to monetize their hauls, reselling counterfeits on resale platforms. PandaBuy's success obviously didn't just attract simple consumers. There's also a whole community that took advantage of it to scam people, whether it's on StockX, Vinted, Depop, Grailed, etc. In short, all platforms. And the crazy thing is that it's over the time when only hyped pairs were replicated. Now you have absolutely all brands, fake Veha, Golden Goose, sell them on, Hoka, and it goes in all fields. Whether it's fake iPhones, fake AirPods, fake Dysons. In short, they all have their own schemes, and they now have tutorials or online courses to explain how to scam people, with guys selling their tips, or explaining how to create fake receipts to screw people over. Today, buying anything secondhand has become a game of Minesweeper. Absolutely everything sold by a perfect stranger on the internet can be a counterfeit, and the risks of getting scammed have been multiplied by 1,000 since the arrival of PandaBuy. So yeah, if it's a Supreme t-shirt or a North Face down jacket, well, you got duped, but life goes on. But if it's dubious AirPods that say,
"The Bluetooth device is ready to pair,"
blowing up in your face, now that's really messed up.
That's a lot of damage.
And clearly, it's become a new specialty of scammers to attack the resale of fakes on Vinted. Okay, there are completely clueless guys who don't bother too much and who we can spot from miles away. But there are some who are very sharp, with well-oiled techniques, who know which products are best imitated and which sell the easiest, and who obviously have ultra-legit purchase proofs.
You are warned. Thank you.
So yes, the over-media coverage of PandaBuy has been a disaster. Obviously, many items are super well imitated, and this new community knew how to highlight them. It would be lying to say they only peddle crap, but being a guy who has a foot in the industry, believe me, most of the fakes are even worse than the worst pair of Nikes. Thousands of young people fall into the trap of overconsumption of useless stuff. We have tons of disastrous reviews from guys who know absolutely nothing, who have never touched the real product, giving random ratings on counterfeit products, just as random to scratch affiliations on naive people. In short, I get the idea of wanting to have brand stuff, to make good deals, but be careful before buying any crap on the internet.
Bro moving stiff when he walk. I'm too tight, got the G on my, like I'm too tight, got the G, I'm in court. On the E-way, put it in sport. Bro, bust the gas, I get low from the law. Wizard on court, I be ballin' like, I'm a wizard on court, I be ballin' like whoa. Tone on Stacy, she a little small, but I bet if I shoot, I lose break through the door.